Hello and welcome to From Tree to Book Writers Group.
We are your panel. I'm Eliwood.
I'm Anna.
And I'm Overlord Supreme Cat Queen Sam. This podcast is for writers anywhere on their writing journey, because no matter where you are, as long as you're writing, you're not writing it wrong.
We're going to do a little chatting about writing, share what we're working on, and play some fun games.
Then, at the end of this chapter, we're going to keep each other company during a 25-minute writing sprint that we hope you'll join us for.
Although you can always skip it if you want.
So before we start talking about writing, we first have to talk about what we're drinking and what we're drinking it out of.
Absolutely.
I have chai out of a dragon mug that I definitely stole from my grandparents' house.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Do you recognize it, Ellie?
I think I do, yes. It is. Yeah. It's a very beautiful mug, and I'm glad it is in a new home.
Yeah. What about you guys?
I'm drinking just some honeybush mandarin orange tea in my ride or die mug, which is how I approach life. Ride or die.
Very nice. I am drinking water in a water bottle because I forgot to make tea when I got home from family dinner tonight. So
I was going to say, Sam, that's the same thing that you drank last time.
How often are you drinking water? Should we be concerned?
Yeah, we need to.
I know.
This is an intervention. You're drinking too much water.
Yeah,
Big water, not a sponsor.
Yeah, no, the cats were demanding dinner, so I figured that, I should probably take care of them, and then I forgot about
prioritize them not being complete jerks during recording.
Right.
Fair and valid.
We'll see if it works. All right, good. We got that business out of the way, and now on to podcast business. I hope this is not a secret. We record a few weeks in advance, so it is not March yet for us. But when you're listening or watching this in the future, through the magic of science, it will be March, and Monster Mashness will be underway. So we talked about this in a previous episode. This is something we've done for the last few years, and we're inviting our audience to participate. Please go back and listen to or watch that episode to get the full experience, but also all the details are on our social media on Blue Sky. We've got some kind of guidelines. We're writing short stories about monster erotica based on monsters that we spun the wheel to guess what monster we're going to get. So it's all randomized. Sam and Ellie, have you guys done any planning, anything that you're excited about doing with Monster Mashness this year?
Sam,
you go first.
You want me to go first? Okay.
Go first.
I was gonna wager some money. You've got some good planning going. I actually today I had some ideas I was noodling with since I was gifted the greatest gift of all time next to werewolves, which is dragon. And I have I think a plot that will lend itself well to some very fun, sexy times, but also this is possibly going to be one of the first times I really experiment with a non-wholesome romance. Ooh. And there may be some evil cults, evil gods involved, since Eldritch God is also one of my monsters. And it's going to be just 10K, and then I'm not going to look at it, and this is not going to be another book.
You tell yourself that.
I will, until we're not even going to say it. I'm not going to jinx myself.
Sam, how about you? How's planning going?
So planning's going well. I have started planning, and I may or may not be naming my characters using the last names of characters from Stranger Things, because I got werewolf this year, and so Steve Harrington has fabulous hair. Werewolves should have fabulous hair, so why not name the werewolf Harrington? And so that just kind of brought me all the way down.
Oh, and you're gonna spell it Hair?
Yeah, right. I probably should.
Harrington.
Right. Yeah. So one of my other monsters is a harpy who is Byers, because Joyce Byers. So it's just, and so I thought I would just stay on theme with that. So and then of course the planning part has happened, and I've started I have a glimmering of the opening scene where it kind of spoiling, but it's basically my main character is in the midst of having sex but checking their email because they've just been incredibly bored with life, and so it's just kind of their arc is like they have to like rediscover the joy of living.
Oh, okay. It's
Ooh.
basically
Through sex.
the Pina Colada song, but as a
You
short
betcha.
with
Mhm.
werewolves.
Oh my god, monsters and pina coladas. That is
And getting
Chef's
caught in the
kiss.
rain.
Chef's kiss.
Mhm.
Absolute home run. I'm so excited for this, Sam.
Well,
Yeah.
I think I mentioned this to you guys already. There is, when I Googled, because one of the monsters I got was Lamia, which like I've never even heard of. But when I Googled it, there is actually a painting I have seen before. I did not realize it was a Lamia. That it's I think it's a Waterhouse painting, but it's like one of those pre-Raphaelites, which I love. So I'm going to use that as my inspiration. And she's seducing a knight, and she's clearly going to like drag him to his death. So
That's
I don't
awesome.
know. Maybe this will also be an unhealthy relationship, Ellie.
I love a career-driven woman.
You know, sometimes you have to choose.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Can a Lamia have it all? All right. So folks, if you would like to join us, this is always a lot of fun for us. So we're really excited to share it with you guys. It's very silly and very fun. You can follow the guidelines that we've set, or you can kind of squish it around to make it yours. Like it's not a competition. It's just a fun thing. The one thing that we will ask all of our listeners to abide by is we are asking you not to use AI as you're creating this. This is something that we believe as writers and as artists. AI is theft. It is stealing from artists and writers, and there's no need for it. You have amazing brain. Your brain is the best machine that could ever exist. So you don't need AI. You don't need it to come up with ideas. You don't need it to come up with the sentence structure. Like, you can do that yourself. Trust me. And if you're worried that you can't, you just start and you write bad. You write bad things until it gets good. Like, that's
We're here
what
for
writing is.
anyone on their writing journey.
Yes, anywhere on your writing journey. This is for fun. It's kind of not fun if you cheat. So have fun with it.
Yes.
All right. And then real quick, guys, we want to do a quick update what people are, either what you're reading or what you're writing right now.
Sure. Sam, do you want to go first?
Sure. So I just picked up the new Heather Fawcett book, which I feel like is perfect for us.
Ooh,
What a beautiful cover.
I love that.
And it's all about kitties.
Oh, perfect.
Oh my goodness.
I love that.
So
wait,
it's really good.
Oh, they're mine. There we go. Cat counter too.
Cat counter.
Right. Ellie, what are you reading or working on right now?
I just finished reading. This is a graphic novel, Shubek Lubek, which is I'm gonna try really hard to keep this quick. It is, one, it's gorgeous. The art is gorgeous. Two, it is such a rich and engaging story. The like elevator pitch of it is that essentially wishes are real. Shubek Lubek is I apologize if I bungle this, but it is an Arabic phrase that is basically like a I'm making a wish kind of thing. This book was only recently translated into English, so like it's a very there's a lot of like very fun cultural learning opportunities for me specifically in here. But it's wishes are real, but they are heavily controlled by capitalism. So like there's different tiers of quality wishes, and of course the best quality wishes are like extremely expensive, extremely regulated, extremely difficult for anyone other than the wealthiest and most powerful to get. And like the third tier wishes, the ones that a lot more people can afford, are very dangerous, and there's a lot of bad after effects that happen from them.
This sounds just like reality. I don't this is just life.
It is, but with wishes and with gorgeous art and gorgeous storytelling. It's a phenomenal book. I loved it from start to finish. Highly recommend. Especially if you're a graphic novel fan, huge recommend.
Excellent. I'll check that out.
Yeah.
Well, I just finished listening to an audiobook with my preteen daughter. We just finished listening to The Screaming Staircase by Jonathan Stroud, which is the first of the Lockwood & Co. books.
Oh, yeah.
So I found it because I don't know if you've picked up on this theme yet. I write books with ghosts in them.
What?
What? I was trying to do some research and I came across this title. I was like, I've heard of this before. And then I got it from the library just like on a whim and kind of forced my daughter to listen to it on a road trip. And she loved it. And we had a lot of fun. And it's a young adult book. It's in a world where ghosts are real. If they touch you, they can kill you. And only children can see them and fight them. So the story is from the perspective of a ghost hunter who works for a small independent agency, and they're all kids who are fighting ghosts, and it's awesome. Like the scary stuff was just like right in that place where it's like, this is scary, but it's not too scary. Like it was really like, but it was suspenseful. It was really perfect. Wonderful imagery, really engaging characters, funny. We all enjoyed it. My husband and I and my daughter all were listening to it together and having a great time. So
I've heard of Jonathan Stroud.
Jonathan Stroud.
I've heard of him. I haven't tried any of his books yet. So this is the final nudge I think that I need.
It's yes, check it out. And I mean, God love public libraries. Libraries are the best thing ever. So I was able to get this audio library book through the app that my library participates in, Libby, and we listened to it, and I'm gonna check and see if I can get the second one as soon as possible because we
amazing.
So, check out Jonathan Stroud, check out your library.
Yeah. Both amazing things.
Yeah. All right. So I think instead of just playing a fun game, the three of us, we actually have an extra special treat for all of you. We actually have some guests tonight. Ellie, do you want to?
I would love to. Everyone, please welcome some very dear friends of mine, Emily and Ange. And we
Hello, everyone.
Welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you so much.
Guys, I have to admit, Anna and Sam, I've been seeing another writing group. I know.
We never said this exclusive.
I know. But still, I should have been more open. But I hope you appreciate Ange and Emily are two writers that I have had the delightful opportunity to get close to. We've been discussing craft, and I've also had the opportunity to get to know their work better. And they are both phenomenal writers who both have something very exciting in common, which is that they both have books coming out very, very soon. And so we wanted to have you guys on, one, because, we want to get to know you a little bit better. And two, you know what? Let's start with introductions and then we'll save the fun part for later. So Emily, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Emily Klotz. Should I say what my book is? Are y'all going to ask me about it?
I think we should know because it's very near and dear to a lot of us.
I think we should say the titles frequently. Like, just say it as often as possible.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So my book is The Gods of Atalantis, and it is part one of a YA fantasy trilogy that I'm working on. That's set in my version of Atlantis, and I do spell it differently. The proper pronunciation is Atalantis, but it's fine if y'all want to say just Atalantis. That's totally fine.
I'm sorry, my American accent is just gonna bungle that.
Yeah, no, we all got the American accent, so it's fine.
I'm probably gonna pronounce it slightly differently every single time I say it.
That's okay.
Atalantis. Atalantis. This is gonna spiral.
Atalantis, yeah.
And Emily, would you mind sharing with us how you got into writing?
Yeah, so I've been telling stories in some form or another since I was a little kid. Like before I actually learned to write letters, I would draw stories in crayon and then staple them together. So it's just a thing I've always been doing. I wasn't officially into writing, though, until I got to college. And I first went to college. I was double majoring in business and art, and writing was just kind of like a fun thing I enjoyed doing on the side, but I didn't really think of it seriously. And I realized very quickly I hated business. And I really loved my English classes. So I switched to being an art and English major. And that was kind of what set me on the path to being more professionally into writing.
Absolutely relatable and wonderful. And Ange, would you mind introducing yourself?
Sure. Hello, everyone. I'm Ange, but my author name, I go by A.M. Shilling. My book is The Devouring, which is a cosmic horror revenge thriller about a married couple who, through a series of seemingly unrelated events, get caught up in this occult conspiracy.
And how did you get into writing?
So I've been writing since like I was 7, Sailor Moon fan fiction, if anyone can relate to that. And basically have just been writing fan fiction almost my entire life. I did take one creative writing course in high school, but I thought, nah, I'm going to stick with fandom. And then I changed my mind basically in 2024 and thought, you know what, I could write a book. I could do it. So I sat down and I wrote a book.
That's awesome.
That is excellent.
Absolute
Both of your books, by the way, sound really interesting, and I can't wait to read both of them.
I've
Thank
gotten
you.
to read beta versions, and they are phenomenal.
Ooh.
Thank you.
Not to spoil it for anybody, they're amazing.
You just spoiled it for me. Now I can't
Well,
find them on my own.
yeah.
The whole thing
I knew
spoiled, yeah.
But Ange and Emily, again, thank you so much for being here. But we really wanted the two of you together because, as you guys may have heard, books are, while coming out around the same time, there's not a whole lot in common between them. We have a YA fantasy and we have a cosmic horror. So we thought maybe we can make a little game out of it that we like to call the Newly Pub game.
Sounds fun.
Sounds fun.
All right. So basically, we're going to ask you guys questions about each other's books, and we'll see. You're not really in competition with anybody, but we'll see who's better.
We're testing your knowledge of each other's works.
And of course, if we fail, friendship over forever. Yes.
Oh yeah, those are the
Oh, yeah.
No pressure.
That's
no
true.
pressure here.
No pressure.
All right, so we're going to start with the easy ones. So, Emily, I'm going to first ask you about The Devouring by A.M. Shilling, aka Ange. The first question is, who are the main characters?
The main characters are Jason and Diana, who are a married couple, and I do not remember their last name. I'm sorry, Ange.
It's okay. They have different
Will you
last
accept-
names.
You accept that answer?
I do accept that answer. Yes.
Okay.
Yay!
All right. First answer on the board. Correct. Well done.
Ange, can I ask really quick, what kind of decision went into having your main characters be an established married couple?
So the reason is because lots of characters, when you have any kind of romantic subplot in a novel, many, many, many times they will not know each other. They will meet in the book. They will get to know each other over the course of the book. And then usually by the end, they're together and then the book is over. I don't like that personally. I want to know what happens afterward, right? So I thought to myself, I want to write about a pair of characters who are dealing with a situation outside of their comfort zone, essentially, on multiple levels. And what would make it more interesting is if they already had history with each other, because then you already have established, like, you don't need them to meet. You don't need them to get to know each other. They already know each other. And I think that sort of provides an additional layer, or just it provides new story opportunities and character interaction opportunities that you don't normally get in the other situation.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
for
Yeah,
sure.
I love that.
I love a well-written couple. Like as much fun as a meet cute and a new romance can be, like a really well designed, like existing couple who has banter, who have trust, like that can be a lot of fun and a great like backdrop for your story to unfold.
Absolutely. Yeah.
All right.
Sam, would you like to start Emily's quiz?
All right. So, Ange, in relation to Gods of Atlantis, it's actually Atalantis. Who are the main characters?
All right. So the main characters now, Emily, you cannot dock points off me if I mispronounce their names.
I knew you were going to say that.
But the main characters of the Gods of Atalantis are Maria and Kina.
Oh, good pronunciation. Very well.
A plus.
And they are kids.
They are kids. I will come clean. The entire time, Emily, I read your book, and also for many months after, I was saying Kina and Mariah. So
I know.
Mariah Carey.
Yeah. No, it is Mireia. Yes.
And how would you say they do with each other throughout this book, Emily?
How do they do with each other?
Like, do they have the nice established couple vibes that we get from the Devouring?
Oh no, not at all. So honestly, I personally and will disagree with me on this, but I really love slow burn romances. And that's what this whole trilogy is basically. It's in this first book. So the premise of the story is that it's set on Atlantis. Of course, this is Atalantis. It's my version of Atlantis. And in the society, the people believe that their gods, the Sea Mother and the Sun Father, incarnate as humans and like reincarnate every lifetime, like a Dalai Lama avatar sort of situation. And so Mireia and Kina are chosen as the new avatars of the gods. And so at first, and of course, part of the legend of these gods is that they're the eternal lovers. They fall in love in every lifetime. And Mireia, she's like the primary point of view character. She's a very stubborn little girl, and she does not like being told that she's supposed to fall in love with this guy she doesn't even know. So she kind of rebels against that. But luckily for Kina, he's very cute. So over the course of the story, they go from kind of being in tension with each other to becoming friends to then like a romance blooms naturally out of that. And so I was trying to play with this idea of it's kind of an arranged marriage situation where they actually end up falling in love, but also I was sort of playing with this idea of fated mates, which I usually hate in books. Like I usually hate how it's done. And in this one, I was trying to kind of ride this line between like, are they actually destined to fall in love, or is it just like the circumstances that they're put in? Like, you can decide, So
they are the only two people who know what that experience is like, and
exactly, it's a very unique experience that they are shoved into.
I think every writer should take their most hated trope and force themselves to write it. Like,
good idea.
What is the thing that you think everyone else writes badly and try and write it yourself? Like, that's a great way to get out of your comfort zone. So
Monster Mash 2027,
like, don't
I'm coming
really
for
like
you.
Fated lovers, and yet you did it, and I'm so excited to see what you did with it.
Yes, absolutely.
All right, next question for Emily. And again, we're talking about the Devouring. Where does the story take place?
Okay, so I believe, if I recall correctly, the city is named Lansing. Is that right, Ange?
That's right, yeah.
Okay, I do remember, I was going to say, I do remember it's like a mashup of Tokyo and New York City, I think. It's definitely got Tokyo in there for sure. It's just a big, cool city.
Mm-hmm. Mega city.
Yeah.
Can I ask about some of those inspirations for the city, Ange?
Yeah. So I really wanted to make a large metropolis like Blade Runner vibes, right? It's modern, lots of things going on because I wanted a robust criminal network in it. Because Jason, it's not a spoiler, you find out in chapter 1, he is a professional assassin. And I needed that robust criminal network to support his career. So a big city was necessary. And also, earlier in 2024, when I first started writing it, I had gone to Tokyo on a trip. And really, what amazed me was its size. It's massive, probably the biggest city in the world, I think. And you could pretty much live in one district your entire life and visit the others maybe like once, twice a year, and not need to, right? So I thought this is the perfect setup. But also, just as a little bit of context, Nagoya, which is also in Japan, was the city that the first city that I lived in, basically. I was suburban for basically all my life until I lived there for a study abroad. And so it really shaped my idea of what a city should be like. Lots of public transportation, basically everything accessible all the time. And I wanted to carry this into my ideal city of Lansing.
I love that. That's amazing.
That sounds so cool.
All right, so my second question for Ange on Gods of Atalantis. What roles are they chosen as candidates for? Which I think actually Emily
already answered.
Thanks
this.
for the freebie, Emily.
I know. I forgot that was one of my questions.
It's okay. It means I should ace this. So
Yes.
Maria has been chosen to be the Sea Mother, and Kina has been chosen to be the Sun Father.
Sea Mother and Sun Father. I like it.
It's
Very good. A plus.
vibe.
Based on
It was very challenging.
so Sea Mother and Sun Father sound like established gods, but I don't think they are. Like, how much of this is based on pre-existing mythology, and how much of this is kind of mythology that you've created?
Oh, that's such a good question. I could yap about this forever, so I will try not to do it forever. But basically, when I was kind of building my version of Atlantis, I borrowed a lot from Plato, of course, who was like the first guy who wrote about Atlantis. Like, he pretty much invented it. By the way, public service announcement: Atlantis was not real. Just, I got to be clear about that. This is all fantasy. But Plato wrote about it. He was the guy who started it. So I took his writing as like my baseline. But then when I was building out other details of the culture, I borrowed a lot, specifically from like ancient Egyptian and Mayan cultures, to kind of build up like the language and the mythology and all that stuff. The Sea Mother and Sun Father, specifically those gods, came about because when I was in the really early development stages of the story, I was doing research, and there's a word that comes up around Atlantis lore a lot, which is mu. M-U, mu. I'm not sure how it's supposed to be pronounced, but sometimes it's described as like another name for Atlantis, and other times it's described as like queen who ruled Atlantis, and like there's different. And so I was like, what if it was a goddess? What if it was this like the sea goddess? And she's like the goddess of Atlantis that everybody worships. And then as I was like coming up with the story, I decided she should have the counterpart. And so I made that Ra, which I just took from Egyptian mythology, but he's different from Ra, Egyptian mythology. The only thing they have in common is the sun thing. But so that was where the Sun Father came from. Yeah. So I invented them. They're not directly taken from any other gods, but just kind of a blending of various inspirations and ideas sprouting in my brain from all of that.
Yeah, but that's what writing is. Whether it's conscious or subconscious, we're taking all of the things from our daily lives, from the culture that we're absorbing, whether we're reading or watching, or like it all gets in there, and then we mush it around and something new.
And then we get some cool results.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Emily.
Yes.
Third question about the Devouring: which two genres are blended together in the book?
I also, this is a freebie for you.
I know, yeah.
We're bad at this game.
I know, we're so bad at this. We're just
to survive this game. I think that's leading in.
We're subconsciously helping each other out here, yeah. Well, that would be crime thriller and cosmic horror. And cosmic horror is one of my favorite genres personally, so I really enjoyed reading The Devouring.
That is correct.
I'm going to be honest. Crime thriller I'm familiar with. what makes something a cosmic horror as opposed to just a regular horror?
Oh, this is my favorite question.
And is it an opportunity to yap?
Yes, I will try not to yap, I promise. So cosmic horror, it also goes by a couple other names, eldritch horror and Lovecraftian horror, after H.P. Lovecraft, who invented the genre like in the 1920s or whenever he was writing. Who cares? He's dead. So every subgenre of horror typically deals with its own themes, right? Like themes, motifs, and like ideas regarding what is horrific. Cosmic horror deals with existential horror. So it asks the question of, where is humanity's place in the universe? What else exists out there? It posits that we are basically so small and irrelevant in the vast nothingness of the universe, and that the universe is actually, the truths of the universe are incomprehensible to humanity because of how vast and unknowable it can be. And it takes these fears and represents them as basically malevolent deities that are out to, I mean, they're not really out to get us, but because of their workings, they essentially turn humans insane or basically just kill us off. So it's weird because it's cosmic horror, right? But the typical origins of these malevolent gods are either deep space, which is, I mean, if you know enough about space, it's pretty horrific out there. And then the deep sea, which, I mean, if you've seen any deep sea animals, is also pretty horrific out there.
Yep. Yeah.
Cthulhu.
Yeah.
A lot of things that did not evolve for cuteness.
No.
I mean, that's what humans contribute, is we create things just so that they're nice and fun.
Or she scratches you.
Hey, you're the opposite of cosmic horror. You're local menace.
But look at their face.
So the first year that we did Monster Mash Madness, and we did our randomized monster assignments, one of the ones I got was Cthulhu. So I got to write some Cthulhu erotica.
Wow.
Which is as much as I've delved into that genre. I don't have a lot of experience with Lovecraft. He seemed like he was kind of weird.
He was kind of, I mean, he was kind of
super weird guy, yes.
Yeah, racist. So, but
no great stories though.
Yeah. All right. So, question number 3 for Ange on Gods of Atalantis. What do you know about any of the antagonists?
So there are a few antagonists. So I'll talk about my favorite one, who is another little girl named Jasana. And I choose her because I find her to be the most interesting, in the sense that, and I hope this is not a spoiler because it happens like really early on in the story, but when basically Maria is selected as a potential candidate for Sea Mother, she has to leave her hometown to go to the capital, basically. And there are all these other little girls who are also potential candidates, and they all have to be tested and whatnot. And Jasana is another one of them. And Jasana and Maria are like foils, basically, because they are the same age, they have been chosen for the same circumstance, but they approach it very differently from each other. And in another universe, perhaps Jasana would be the Sea Mother. And I think the fact that you have these two basically like counterparts pitted against each other, because, I mentioned Jasana because she is an antagonist. It's interesting to see like what has caused Jasana to take on this path of antagonism versus Maria's, like obviously she's the main character. So I don't know. I feel like of all the antagonists, that one's the most interesting because it's a character who ultimately could be tragic if you think about like all the things that led her to this point in her life. And she's still young, right? Like, so it is tragic in my opinion. And I love those villains the best.
Is that a satisfactory answer, Emily?
You have
Oh,
to
very. Yes, I am very happy listening to all of that.
What was some of your inspiration for Jasana?
Okay,
Is there
so
no Jasana in your life?
no, oh no. I don't have a nemesis. At least not that I know of. But so originally, actually, Jasana, like in the very early drafts of the story, she was kind of less of an antagonist and more of just sort of a pawn in some other villains' schemes. I changed things fairly drastically from that first early draft, but even as it is, she's still a pawn. It's just now she doesn't really realize that she's a pawn, which I think makes her sadder. And I don't know. I thought it wasn't. It didn't seem like there was enough conflict, I guess, in the story, unless you had this other girl who was really similar to Maria, and like they could have been friends. Like actually, when they first meet, like they do become friends, like instantly. And the only reason they become enemies is because Jasana is convinced she's supposed to be the Sea Mother, and then Maria gets chosen instead. Spoilers. And so she can't take that because like her entire identity is built off of that, and so that's what drives her to become Maria's enemy. So I think I hope people see her as tragic. She does some terrible things in the story. Not so much in book one. In the later books, she will do some really awful things. So some people might hate her by the end of the story, but I hope most people see her as a more tragic figure.
Don't worry, Emily. I'm a certified villain lover.
I know. And we'll love her no matter what.
You love her no matter what.
She'll probably love her the more villainous she gets.
All right. I think the questions are getting harder. So do your best, Emily.
Okay.
In Devouring, what two significant events kick off the plot?
Okay. I'm pretty sure I got this right. I'm sorry if I'm wrong. And and this feels kind of spoilery, but also like the first two chapters of the book, I think. So hopefully not. But I think the two significant events that kick off the plot of The Devouring are in chapter 1, Jason assassinates a guy, an important guy, and somebody sees what he did, and instead of killing that person like he should have done, he decides to let them go. So with the assumption that he's good enough to intimidate them into not squealing. So that's one incident, and then the other incident I believe is Ayana at her job where she is a forensic. She does autopsies and stuff. And in one of the bodies they bring in, it has like some freaky holes in it, like cosmic horror type holes, not, that sort of thing. And everybody. Ayana and her coworker are very baffled by this, of course. Is that correct, Ange?
That is correct.
Yay!
I cannot wait to read this book. You guys, this is such a good preview of what you've written. I'm really excited. I'm like, wait. There's cosmic holes. I need to know more.
There's cosmic holes. What can I say?
That's the whole book. I need to know more.
Yeah.
Have any of y'all read Junji Ito? Heard of him?
Yeah.
Japanese horror manga.
No.
So one of my favorite cosmic horrors is Uzumaki by Junji Ito. And as I was reading The Devouring, I was like, oh my gosh, this is so Uzumaki. And Ange was like, I've never read it. And I was like, what? So
I actually did read it earlier this month. Yeah,
It is.
I can see what you mean. Also, being compared to the legendary horror master Junji Ito was like super like humbling and a huge honor.
Very deserved.
Well deserved. And if you don't mind me asking, one of my favorite features about Jason is that he simply has way more confidence than I think anyone else who has ever existed ever. And my understanding is that that's very tied into why he lets this person go. And how did you write someone like that, but yet make him so interesting and compelling? Like, how do you still have us root for him? Like, what was that magic sauce?
Honestly, if I knew I could sell that, I think the magic sauce is Ayana, actually, his wife. Because I think if Ayana did not exist, if he did not have a wife in his life, somebody that is his partner, basically, then he would be a lot less relatable. I think that people would root for him much less, and he would be a more one-dimensional character.
I think that's a really good point. That was a really smart thing you did.
Thank you.
I remember watching a special about The Simpsons once, and they're talking about the reason why Homer Simpson is beloved is because he loves Marge. Like, he is such an idiot. He's so awful. He does so many things wrong. But because he loves his wife so absolutely, like, that's the key to him not being a horrible, unlikable person. And it sounds like Jason's the exact opposite of Homer, but that key thing, the fact that he loves another person, absolutely.
Well,
it's a human for us.
Well, I think probably not one of the big questions, but I think one of the questions of the Devouring is, does Jason love his wife?
Oh, okay.
It definitely introduces a question of, like, how do you define love? And like it's so compelling. It's so, yeah, you did great.
Okay.
Thank you.
Sam's turn.
My turn. All right. So question number 4 for Ange. What kind of power is the society of Atalantis built on?
Okay, so I think the correct answer here is Kana crystals. Yes! I was like, this could be something about slavery, but I'm going to say Kana crystals.
I was thinking about the question earlier today, like, oh, there's actually multiple possible answers for this. But you took the most straightforward one, which was what I had in my head when I wrote the question. So
it's the unique one.
Yes.
But
what are Kana crystals?
So again, when I was researching all of the Atlantis lore, right? There were these kind of kooky mystics in the Victorian era who got really into Atlantis. Like, they read all of the Plato and they were like obsessed. They were the Atlantis fans, right? They brought it back into the mainstream, and a lot of them wrote about Atlantis and kind of added their own stuff to the lore. And one of those things they added was that the whole society of Atlantis was powered by some kind of crystal energy, which is also why, if y'all recall, in the Disney version of Atlantis, they had magic crystals in that as well. It's not because I copied the Disney version, it's because that's from the old lore, right? So in my version, Kana crystals are these crystals that only grow on the island of Atalantis, and they channel a kind of energy that's kind of like the life energy of the universe. And so when people use them, like when you hold them in your hand and it's connected to your body and you have control of your thoughts, you can basically direct that energy to manipulate matter in any way that you want, limited only by the amount of energy that's in the crystal. And it also lets you mess with people's minds as well, which is, I think, the scarier power. But basically, the whole society has got all of this advanced tech, but advanced for the time period, right? Which is like ancient Earth. They got all of this tech. It's all powered by these crystals. So essentially, they were able, while the rest of humanity out there in the world was still stuck in the Stone Age. Like on this one island, because of these crystals, they were able to create this kind of advanced utopian society.
Just don't worry about the slaves. They're experiencing
Slaves.
their own reality.
Slaves do their own thing. Oh, I should also say the crystals have to be like very carefully regulated, because if you're not careful, if you grow them, if they get too big or they have flaws, they can go boom. And that probably won't be relevant to the story at any
I have
point.
a feeling that's
Fun
going to be
fact.
relevant to the story. Yeah. You guys are doing really great. So, last question for you, Emily. You have 4 questions correct so far. So this is the last one. See if you can get 5 out of 5. For the Devouring, who designed the book cover?
I believe that would be somebody known as A.M. Shilling.
Hell
Oh.
That is correct.
And it's an awesome cover.
Thank you.
We will absolutely be able to show off graphics. Ange, do you want to talk a little bit about your cover creation process?
Yeah, definitely. So when I was reaching the point of finishing the actual editing process and, preparing for publication, I thought, okay, what the heck? I'm gonna have to pay somebody to make a really nice cover, what most authors who self-publish do. And I went ahead and I looked at other horror books that are already out and picked the ones that are basically like my favorites cover-wise. Never read the books, but the cover, I wanted to pick ones that kind of already exemplified things that I really liked, like a big central image, big fonts, eyes, holes, circles, and like bold colors, right? So as I was going through my ideas, someone else in our writing group mentioned that a cool idea would be the Rorschach ink blot. And I thought, oh my gosh, I could draw that myself. I mean, it's not hard. It's just like paint, basically, ink. And after maybe I think it took me 5 hours and 7 attempts, I managed to put the cover together using Clip Studio Paint is the program I use. I think I said that right. And I have a background in graphic design, not like a professional one or anything like that. Just, making forum banners in Paint Shop Pro when I was 13. But, the skill evolved over time and I was able to put something together.
It is a very cool cover. Again, we will make sure we have a graphics showing, because both covers are absolutely gorgeous of these books.
Awesome.
All right, so now to Ange, who designed the book cover for Gods of Atalantis?
A really awesome artist named Emily Klotz.
Whoa!
That's right. Emily, same question. What went into your book cover design process?
A while back, I had this idea of kind of like of drawing kind of like an abstracted image of Mireia and Kina, but in the place of the ocean and the sun, like her down below and him over her. And so I designed it to where they almost kind of like fit together, and they're both kind of portrayed in almost like a fetus position, because this is the beginning of their story. They're still kind of, they're 13, 14, but they're still kind of babies, right? And it goes into the whole idea of them dying and being reborn over and over again. So that's where my idea of the book cover came from. It took me, I also did mine in Clip Studio Paint, and it took me a while to get it done because it's quite detailed, but I'm very happy with it.
It is gorgeous.
Thank you.
Excellent, both of you.
Thank you.
Having gone through it now, question to both of you: do you think you would design another book cover yourself?
Oh yes,
I'm up for the challenge.
Okay.
I'm probably gonna, if I manage to get all 3 of these Atlantis books out there, I'm probably gonna do all the covers for all of them.
And we'll see more of the beyond fetus stage development,
Yes.
I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
that would be
I'm
cool.
not quite sure how I will develop that same theme going forward. I haven't been hit with inspiration yet, but it will come to me.
Absolutely. And there's just so many ways to design a book cover, and like there's, especially if you're self-publishing or indie publishing, there's a lot of pressure, I think, to make sure your book looks like it has to look above and beyond, I think. But that doesn't, like, there's so many different ways you can approach it. There's so many different things you can do. Not everyone can afford to hire a cover artist, and that's okay. Support artists. Don't use AI to do that. There's
Please.
a ton of different ways to do it, and Ange and Emily, I think you are two exemplary examples of that. You're exemplary examples. But thank you guys so much. We have a bonus round. Your friendship has survived this long, and I think you can do the bonus round. Can we please ask you guys to do an elevator pitch of each other's book?
Sure. Yeah. I can give it
Okay.
a shot.
Yeah? Okay.
I can't promise you it'll be a good shot.
Joke answers will be accepted.
Okay.
Okay, good, because that's what I've got. Yeah.
You want to go
Or
first?
Emily,
or
you want
me?
to go first?
Okay, all right. I guess I'll go first. So my elevator pitch for the Devouring, I'm sorry, and is two sexy married sociopaths start off investigating a shady murder, end up stumbling into a Lovecraftian horror story, and ruin literally everyone's day.
Yes.
Fun
Perfect.
copies.
Perfect. I
I love it.
I'm gonna put that on all my marketing from now on.
Absolutely.
Okay, that's a high bar.
I may not be able to live up to it, but I'll give it my best shot. Okay, so The Gods of Atalantis is about two teenagers chosen to be the religious leaders of their nation. They end up committing domestic terrorism and destabilizing the economy.
Very
Beautiful.
nice.
Beautiful.
There you go.
I was going to read these books anyways, but now I'm really, really excited for them both.
Absolutely, yes.
Well, guys, this was really fun. Thank you for playing with us, and this was a new idea for us to do this newly pub game. So thank you for testing out new waters with us. I hope you enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun for us. I hope you guys enjoyed it too.
Yes,
it was a
thank
lot of
you
fun.
so much. Thank you for having us on. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Ellie, do we want to plug their socials and where folks can find them and their work?
I think we gotta make sure we do our writing sprint first.
Oh my god. Yeah, we got
I
to get
know.
writing sprint.
After all that fun. Now I'm sorry, everyone. We have to focus up and get some work done. But hopefully, hearing from these two wonderful authors has helped inspire you with some wonderful ideas for yourself.
Let's write.
Yeah.
On your mark, get set. Sammy's gonna start the counter. Okay. And that's 25 minutes. We hope you had a productive writing or brainstorming session, and we would love to hear from you how it went. So please let us know. Send us messages, comment. We'd love to hear from you, friends.
Please like, review, subscribe to us wherever you get your podcasts, and follow us on social media. Ange and Emily, we want to also make sure people are following you on social media. Where can we find you?
I guess I'll go first. So I'm mainly on Blue Sky at professoremily.bluesky.social. And I have a website, emilyklotz.com. Also, technically, I'm on Instagram at professor.emily2442. So maybe by the time this comes out, my Instagram will be a little more active than it is now. Oh, and my book, my book is coming out this year, 2026, or early-ish 2026. Specific date to be announced soon.
Very soon. We may
have the date by the time we publish this, and we'll put.
We should probably have it in the links. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. And
as for me, I am also primarily on Blue Sky. I am at gunsmile.bsky.social. I also am on Instagram at amshillingwrites, and my website is amshilling.com. The Devouring is available for pre-order now and comes out on April 9th.
Oh my God.
Links to everything will be in the podcast description. You guys, you don't want to miss these books. I promise you.
So excited. All right, now it's my turn. From Tree to Book Writers Group is produced in partnership with Hook and Quill Press, LLC. Plus, please check out their socials as well.
Our theme music was by FASSounds.
And remember, wherever we are, we're writing together. All right, everybody, you want to say goodbye with us?
Bye.
Bye.